Alright, today what we're going to do is give our 2003 Mini Cooper a test drive. I want to give you a nice walk around of the vehicle as well. This one is what they call pepper white. It's a color that they used in 2003 for the Mini Cooper. And what's nice about it, I'm sitting here in the sun, approximately a little after noon here, and it's not blinding to look at. It really is a pleasant white. Alright. Wrong side. They use their inline 4-cylinder. This particular one's a 1.6 liter. They rate this at 115 horsepower, 110 foot-pounds of torque, and that's at 4,500 RPM. And we're going to test drive it in a minute or so. I have driven the car already, though, and I tell you, the car has quite a bit of pickup. Fun one to drive. Alright, we got 4 Yokohamas on this one. It's 175, 65, 15 tires, which is a nice size tire, and I think this is the largest that Mini offers where you still have a spare tire. When you start getting into the 17s on the Mini, you won't have a spare on board. Looks really nice with the windows tinted. Did you see the back 3 windows are tinted? Use the fob to open that. Well, my wife left her stuff in there. We just picked this one up. We like to drive them for a couple weeks when we get trade-ins to make sure nothing pops up that's unexpected. And we just got this one a couple days ago. You can see it holds a pretty decent amount of gear. We actually took this one out when we brought my boy to soccer practice. That's his soccer bag right there. Little cooler that we brought. So you can see there's some room there. Nice looking rims. The 2003, this was the second year the Minis were being sold in the US. So they were definitely still after making an impression in the US market. It's the interior. You can see you have the tachometer drop dead center. Speedometer right there. Yep, left the glove box open. They use the toggle switches here in the center. I always like these toggle switches. They're pretty cool. You see they run the Harman Kardon sound system. I was in electronics for quite a while. Harman Kardon made some of the finest equipment that we sell. I'm a pretty big fan of the Harman Kardon audio. They use Panther Black, they call it, on the interior. And this is the two-tone Panther Black with the gray interior. Down for a minute. For the door locks, you have a single toggle. Got It'll lock or unlock everything in the car, including the trunk. Driver's lights. Windows also operate on the toggle. This would be for the driver's side here. When you look up here in the rear view mirror, we'll adjust that so I get a view here. Directly above the rear view mirror, you're going to see a clock right there. Yeah, it's pretty easy to set. Mess it up. I haven't played around with this one yet. I would imagine this is going to be for minutes here, so I'm not even going to touch that. There we go. There's the vanity mirror. Both sides. Mirror adjustment right in the center here. You just flip it to the left here. Look at that driver's side.
A place to discover amazing new ways to feather your nest. PIRCH. Perch. Opening at Glendale Galleria.
There's the back seats. And you can fit 2 adults back there. Gonna be a little bit snug. See the headrest all the way around. And for a smaller car, this actually has really good safety ratings from Edmunds. Got 4 out of 5 stars, which I was impressed with. And what we're going to do is go for a little ride here so you can get an idea of the performance of the car. Hopefully you'll be able to get a feeling for what it's like to drive one of these. Right down here, this one uses a 5-speed manual. The manuals are great with these cars because they really have a bit of a racing heritage to them. And it almost feels like a racing go-kart when you drive it. So when you get the 5-speed manual, it actually adds to that experience. And I actually had a customer come in here that never drove a stick in her life and learned on this particular car. I think it was an 06. So it's one of these vehicles that's not hard to learn how to drive. This takes getting up the courage. And quite frankly, I think it's a good idea for teenagers to drive a stick because it keeps them away from the cell phone. It keeps their hands busy, so you can't text and drive if you're shifting. Alright, so you see we got our mirrors set. That car coming, so we're going to give them a little bit of time. Good visibility. And you're off. We're at 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 RPM just near. We're already up to 50 miles an hour. So you can see the performance you're getting out of the 4-cylinder. This car actually is rated at 33 miles per gallon on the highway, which is amazing because it performs really well also. When you're driving it, the suspension is nice and tight, but not so tight that it's uncomfortable. Some cars, especially performance cars like this, they'll tighten the suspension up a little bit too much, where every time you go over a bump, it's like slam, feels uncomfortable, and that's not the driving experience at all in this vehicle. This one is nice and smooth, but tight enough to perform, and I'll show you when we get back there. We're going to swing a nice tight turn right on the road my shop's on. Alright, you can see the visibility is great out of these. And they sound good too. I always like having that extra power, especially getting on the freeway sometimes. Matter of fact, there's the I-15 right there. And sometimes getting on the freeway, the flow of traffic is pretty fast, even in the slow lane. And so it's nice to be able to get up to 70 miles an hour at a pretty fast pace. Alright, I'm going to make this left here, downshift in a second. I'm going to hit this turn with a little bit of speed. I'm going 30, right around that turn there. We're up to 40. 40 at 4,000 RPM. That's almost a sweet spot here. When I gun it, it takes off like a little rocket ship. They also use ventilated disc brakes. And I'm going to show you the performance you get out of there. It's got a gentleman behind us. So I don't want to hit the brakes too fast. I don't want a truck to hit us. But here we go, 50, right down to 10. Now I'm going to swing it around, and you can see with that tight wheelbase, you can really spin these things around very quickly. Watch this. Oh yeah. Just a lot of fun to drive these cars. I'm pretty sure they're rated 25 in the city. Don't quote me on that. Check the website, because under the details description I'll have everything posted directly off of Edmunds.
Earn a certificate of completion from the University of Southern California in leadership. So
this is really a perfect car for somebody that understands the performance still matters. You know, really for people that performance does matter, I should say. And to me, performance still matters, even though the price of gas is nearing $4 a gallon here in California. But it car that gets about 35 miles to a gallon, or 33 on the highway, $4 a gallon is not so bad after all. And these minis are made by BMW now, so it's a nice combination of mini performance with BMW performance. And I'm pretty sure that suspension I was talking about is BMW suspension. It's partially why they ride so great. But we're fairly new to the car dealership. We opened up in January this year, and I got to tell you, out of the 4-cylinders I drive, these minis are definitely some of my favorites to bring back from auction. Always enjoy these things. So if you're in the market for a 4-cylinder and performance matters to you, I do recommend to come down here to Streamline Auto and test drive this one before you make any decisions. I think you'll be really impressed in how that car drives. And this particular one was maintained at a really high level. So I think you'll be pleased with the performance, even though this is a used vehicle. All right, we hope you visit us at Streamline Auto. Thanks for watching.